All right. So can everybody hear me clearly and see my screen clearly? Okay, good. So if you're here for the second time, we are He Lifestyle Academy, and on the screen are the four areas of our expertise that we specialize in. Health and wellness includes physical, mental, relational health as well. Uh, Effective communication. We use the DISC assessment method to assess your communication style, help you to get to know who you are and the people that you relate with. Anger resolution, leadership, and personal development. All right, so there are normally two things we say to you and two promises we make. First, I will do the two things. Thing number one is to uh, get paper and a writing instrument. Paper and a writing instrument because you want to take some notes. Take some notes. The shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. The shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. So you want to take some notes. Take some notes. Don't trust your memory, so to speak. Uh, Thing number two is there are the five worst words in the world. And the five worst words in the world are, I have heard that before. Good evening, Joan. Welcome. Glad to have you. I have heard that before. And what this does is to create closed-mindedness because the question can become, if you've heard it before, what have you done with what you have heard? Have you put it into practice? So these five worst words, I've heard that before, creates a state of closed-mindedness. Closed-mindedness. All right, so here are the two promises. Promise number one is that you will definitely learn something today that you can use right away. You will definitely learn something today that you can use right away. Promise number two, I'm available to work with you further. Should you see the need, we work with churches, with groups, individuals, organizations, and at the end of the presentation, you would have all of our contact information. All right, I'm going to go through quickly our disclaimer. The information provided in this presentation is intended for general informational purposes only and should not be considered as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. As a naturopathic doctor and certified mental health coach, I am sharing insights and suggestions based on my expertise in natural health and wellness. However, it's important to consult with a medical doctor before making any significant changes to your health regimen, especially if you have underlying medical conditions, are taking medications, or have specific health concerns. All right, so we have started a 24-week series dealing with our inner temple, the organs within our bodies, which is our temple. Temple belongs to God. And it's a 24 weeks to wellness, nurturing the temple within. And last week we started off with the brain. So every month or so we are doing a new organ. We began first with the heart, and now we're on the brain. So last week we did our first installment on the brain, dealing with neurological health, understanding the brain, understanding how the brain and the gut and the rest of the body communicate. And we went deep into that. If you were not here last week, you can go to our YouTube channel, Heal Lifestyle Academy, and the recording is there. The recording is there. So today we're dealing with nutrition for your brain health. So if there's somebody that you know needs to be here, that's not here dealing with some kind of brain situation, you need to text them quickly to be here, to be live, to be able to ask questions and get live answers. So text them quickly or call them to be here. So nutrition for brain health. All right. Good evening, Jillian. Glad you joined us. Good to have you. All right. So we normally do an yeah, we normally do an icebreaker before we start. An icebreaker, and you want to get ready. It's a little quiz, a true or false quiz. We don't scream out the answers. You could write it in the chat. Write the answers in the chat. If it's true, you write a T. If it's false, you write an F. All right, don't scream out the answers, please. All right. So if you're ready for the icebreaker, type ready or R in the chat. Type ready. Those who are ready for the icebreaker, type an R or the word ready. Ready in the chat. I'll wait for you. I'll take a sip of water while you. Okay, okay. Nadea says R. Jordan says R. Yeah, that's two. Yeah, Jillian says R. So we only have three people ready for the quiz. That's three. That's three. Need at least two more people to respond. Come on, folks. We're here to participate, right? You're called participants. That means you have to participate. So at least two more people to type a R or ready if you're ready for the quiz. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Sister Winston. Wonderful. All right. Now we can move. Now we can move. All right. So it's true or false, and write the answer in the chat. Here's the question. Eating walnuts can improve brain function because the walnuts, look like a brain. True or false? Eating walnuts, you can write a T or you can write true, can improve brain function because they look like a brain. All right, let me check the chat and see how many responses. All right, Nadej says true. Winsome says true. Nicole says true. Julian says true. Joan says false. Okay. All right, let's check it out. Well, the answer is true. It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Walnuts contain omega-3 fatty acids. What happened to my screen? Okay. Yeah, walnuts contain omega-3 fatty acids and also antioxidants and polyphenols, right? Polyphenols. A polyphenol basically is, let me make some space here. All right. All right. Polyphenols are a class of naturally occurring plant compounds that have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and other health benefits. All right, the polyphenol. So the walnuts contain omega-3 fatty acids, which is a natural fat that we need in our bodies, antioxidants, and those who have been with us for a while know that. All right, somebody tell me what an antioxidant does. Somebody who knows, you've been here several times by now, you should know at least that. What is an antioxidant? What does it do? Why do we need it? All right, let's not all rush to unmute at the same time. So nobody here remembers what an antioxidant is, what it does?
They protect, it's like a protection for the cells to prevent them from getting damaged or something. I don't know.
Wow. All right. Anybody else?
Free radicals.
Right. So antioxidants that we get in plants and vegetables, they protect our bodies from free radicals. So free radicals are what some of the things that can cause cancer in our bodies. So for example, if you're doing a lot of frying, you're frying fish and other things regularly, some of the from that heated oil, free radicals escape and you inhale that. So think of a major city where you live, and down in the center of the city, there's a runaway truck, one of those big trucks that have those long cranes and those big wrecking balls on it. The truck is driving, the wrecking ball is just going left and right, knocking down buildings as it goes, right? That's what free radicals do to our cells, right? So we need antioxidants to help us. They're very, very important, right? And we talked about the polyphenols. They're naturally occurring plant compounds, and they have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and other health benefits, right? So when God told us to eat in Genesis 1:29, to eat fruits and vegetables, it was to save our lives, to protect us, right? So all of these support cognitive function. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, and verse 6, the Bible says, "For the Lord giveth wisdom." The Lord giveth wisdom. The question is, are we receiving the wisdom? What are we doing with the wisdom that God is giving us, right? For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. So when we read the Bible, we get the wisdom that God gives out of his mouth, that he gave to men, inspired men to write in the Bible. So we're trying to give some wisdom and knowledge this evening that comes from God, not from me. All right. So let's try to understand brain nutrition, right? Why does nutrition matter for brain health, right? So our brains require proper nutrition to function optimally, right? Who here would love that your brain will function optimally to the highest level? Just put me in the chat. Let's write me. If you want your brain to function optimally, write me. Okay, Julian says me, okay. Nadesh says me. Okay, Joan says me. Anybody else wants to optimize your brain? So I guess everybody else here who didn't write me in the chat, they want to stay crazy. Okay, I got it. Or Winston, okay, Winston get 3 me's for those who didn't respond to help you out. All right. So we're saying that nutrition matters for brain health because the brain requires proper nutrition, not just nutrition, but proper nutrition to function optimally. All right. So we're going to look at three different things, right? Antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and hydration to uh, help the brain nutrition. So if you look at the role of antioxidants in cognitive health or brain health, how your brain functions, we see that antioxidants neutralize harmful free radicals in your body, as I was talking about before. And these free radicals can damage your brain cells and contribute to cognitive decline. All right. And so some of the sources of antioxidants are fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and certain vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin E. All right. You notice there's nothing there about dairy or meat, nothing there about anybody that has a mother or a brother. All right. There's natural stuff, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and certain vitamins like C and E. That's where you get your antioxidants from to help with your cognitive health. Cognitive health. We can also look at cooking with brain healthy herbs and spices, right? Like number one, you see garlic and oregano. And what does garlic and oregano do? Somebody tell me. Somebody unmute and tell me what does garlic and oregano do? It's right on the screen. It's right there.
Oxidizes free radicals.
Uh,
It
okay.
boosts your brain blood flow.
There we
Going
go. There we go. It's right. It's right there, right? So garlic and oregano. How many of us use?
oxidizes free radicals.
Okay, somebody's talking, but your signal is weak, so you're kind of breaking up, and we're not understanding clearly. I'm not sure what you may have to do to make it better, but the answer is right here, right? Garlic and oregano, it boosts your brain blood flow, right? It boosts your brain blood flow. Garlic and oregano. Saffron. How many of us use saffron? That's right, me. That's right, me in the chat. That's right, me in the chat. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to participate and write in the chat is to help you to better take in what's happening. Because just like in school, if you don't take notes, if you don't participate, don't use more of your senses, you tend not to learn as much. All right. So I'm trying to make you use the sense of touch, to type in, and to use your cognition to to keep you engaged in it. All right. So you're free not to do it, but it helps you if you do it. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So we said that garlic and oregano boosts your brain blood flow. All right. We want to have that blood flow in our brain. We really, really do. All right. And saffron has antidepressant effects. All right. So if you are feeling depressed, you might want to take some saffron in some water or put some saffron in your food that you cook with some saffron in your food to help because it has antidepressant effects. You don't have to take medication per se, right? Saffron will help you with that. Curcumin. Where can we find curcumin? Anybody knows? You should know this word. Curcumin.
Saying turmeric?
Mary.
And turmeric, very good,
Mm-hmm.
very good, right? So curcumin is the active ingredient in turmeric, curcumin. And what does
Black
curcumin
pepper?
do? I'm sorry? All right. So
Uh-huh.
curcumin decreases the beta amyloid plaques, right? Uh, in your brain. Beta amyloid plaques are clumps of protein that build up in your brain and are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. All right. So many people who have Alzheimer's disease may have beta amyloid plaques, clumps of protein that builds up in the brain, right, and contributes to Alzheimer's. All right. So curcumin helps to decrease the beta amyloid plaques. Please take note or take a screenshot. It really, really helps. All right. Yeah, thank you, Utemu. It's a blood thinner. Very good, very good. Rosemary, thyme, and sage. What do they do? They enhance your memory. So if you feel as though you're beginning to forget things, you may want to increase when you're cooking or in your salads, rosemary, thyme, and sage. It enhances your memory. Cinnamon boosts your attention. It boosts your attention. Like some of us here in the chat, we might need some cinnamon right now, right, to boost our attention. And cinnamon is also an aphrodisiac for men, right? Somebody should know what that word is talking about. It boosts, it's an aphrodisiac for men, and it boosts attention in both men and women. We have ginger, cayenne, and they are hot and spicy from Generals, and capsaicin from capsaicin. That's ingredients in ginger, the Generals, and the capsaicin in the cayenne pepper, right? And they also have pepperine compounds that boost your metabolism and also has an aphrodisiac effect, right? So just these six herbs and spices you get a wealth of benefit just from these right here. All right. So if nothing else you remember for the whole presentation, you want to remember these, right? Have these in your kitchen and cook with it all the time, all the time. All right. We're looking now at the role of healthy fats, right? Dealing with cognitive health. Now, some of us may know this, some of us may not know it yet, but your brain is made up of cholesterol. Cholesterol is a part of the brain, and you need cholesterol in the brain, right? It makes some of it, but you need that for brain functioning. So the healthy fats play a role in your cognitive health. Your cognitive health, right? Healthy fats, basically talking about omega-3 fatty acids. And if you look at this diagram here, starting from number one, right, going all the way around, number one, these are almonds, right? They're the healthy plant-based fats, almonds, very good for the brain as well. Then we have olives, natural fat, very good. This is also good if you're constipated, right? Yeah, we help you to go. Help you to go. So we have the almonds, we have the olives. Third, we have the walnuts, right? And the walnuts are very good for the brain. In fact, it is shaped like a brain. And you would find that a lot of food that is shaped like the body parts are very good for that body part in particular. All right. So the walnut is shaped like the brain. You have pistachios, also very good. Number four. Number five, avocado. Avocado, very good fatty acid. Then we have cashews, also very good. Hemp seeds and flax seeds. All of these are very good for fatty acids. They're vital for maintaining cognitive function. In fact, omega-3s are important for the proper functioning of neurotransmitters. And last week we spoke about, excuse me, the neurons and the neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters are chemicals that are responsible for communication between your brain cells. And you remember we showed this picture last week, and we said that there are chemical messengers between released by the neuron. So this here is the neuron, this is the neuron, and this gap or junction, right? It's called a synapse between the two neurons, and the neurotransmitters transmit signals across the gap between them, right? So they bind to specific receptors on the receiving neuron. So if this is a transmitting neuron, the receiving neuron would have specific receptors, all right, and to receive the message coming from the other side, triggering various cellular responses. Okay, so um, we dealt with hydration. What does it do deal with? Omega-3 fatty acids, omega-3s, and now we're dealing with hydration. This is very, very important, right? Very, very important. How many of us here think we drink enough water for the day? Let's put me in the chat. How many of us think we drink enough water for the day? Write me in the chat. If you believe you drink enough water. Utamu says no. All right, thank you for being honest. Okay, me not. Joan says me. Okay, okay. All right. So hydration is very, very important to our cognitive health. Joy says me. Okay, praise God for that. And dehydration can impair or hurt your cognitive abilities like concentration and memory. All right, dehydration can really hurt these cognitive abilities like concentration and memory. Oops, sorry, I wasn't done with that. Yeah, concentration and memory, right? So a diet with these components, right? Omega-3, antioxidants, the healthy fats, omega-3s, hydration may help to reduce the risk of cognitive decline that is associated with aging and neurological diseases, right? Hydration, healthy fats, antioxidants. Studies suggest that adequate intake of omega-3s may help to improve your memory, your learning, your focus, and your overall cognitive performance. So, how much water did you drink today? Somebody tell me in the chat. How much water did you drink today? How many glasses you drank today? And you can see I have my 40-ounce bottle here. I drank this full for the day already. That's 5 glasses. Plus, I drank 3 glasses of water first thing in the morning with lemon, a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of salt. So that's 8 I've drunk so far. I think I've drunk about 2 of these. That's 10. And I'm still finishing. All right, so Nadesh says 6. Fellow disciple, welcome back, fellow disciple. Says 4 so far. Put in the disclaimer. Joan says 6. Jillian says 3. Wow. Okay, interesting, interesting, interesting. Utamu says 6. All right. So daily water intake recommendations, right? The recommendations we used to hear about 8 glasses of water, right? So when you face hydration needs, it's based on factors like age, activity level, climate, what have you. All right, so we go into that now. So let me go through some myths and some facts, and I want you to write in the chat if you think it's a myth, write M. If you think it's a fact, write F. Very simple, right? All right. So there are several misconceptions and myths surrounding hydration that can lead to confusion, right? Not just confusion if you don't drink and you are dehydrated, that will lead to confusion, but the confusion about how to drink water. We want to debunk some of the common hydration myths and provide evidence-based facts to ensure that you have the accurate information because we saw that hydration is one of the serious can have a serious effect to impair your cognitive abilities like concentration and memory. All right, so it's very, very important. All right, so we're looking at myth number one, right? And again, write F for fact or M for myth in the chat. Myth number one, 8 glasses of water a day is a universal rule. Is that a myth or a fact? M for myth, F for fact. Okay, so we have, let me see, who's saying what here? What here? So Felix Hyper said it's a myth. M. Jones says it's a fact. Joy says it's a fact. Utamu says it's a myth. Julian says it's a myth. Okay, anybody else?
I did say M.
You said M? I didn't see it. I didn't. Oh, yes, yes. Nidette says M. Joan says F. Okay, good. All right. So it's a myth, all right? That's a myth. That's not a fact. The 8 by 8 rule, which suggests drinking drinking 8 ounce glasses of water a day, is not a one size fit all guideline because your hydration needs would vary on factors you said like age, activity level, your weight, the climate, and your individual health. So it's important to listen to your body's cues for thirst and adjust your water intake accordingly. Accordingly, all right. So H and Peace and Bryce says depends on your weight. Yes. All right. Myth number two. Again, write M if you think it's a myth, or F if you believe it's a fact. If you think it's a fact. All right. Myth number two. You should drink water only when you are thirsty. Is that a myth? That's a fact. Okay. Nadesh says M. It's a myth. Felix Hypo says M. Jones says M. Utamu says M. Okay. Anybody else? Peggy says M. Nicole says M. Okay. All right. That is a myth. All right. It's a myth. Here, what is the fact? The fact is, by the time you feel thirsty, you may already be mildly dehydrated. All right. So it's advisable to sip water throughout the day, even when you don't feel thirsty, to maintain optimal hydration levels. All right. Myth number three. Myth number three, right? M, if we believe it's a myth, or F is a fact. Clear urine indicates hydration. Clear urine means that you have enough water for the day. Is that a myth or is it a fact? Okay, fact. Okay. Wow, a lot of facts. Utamu says myth. Jones says fact. Bryce says fact. Peggy says fact. Wow, okay. All right. Interesting. All right. So here the fact. The fact is that while pale or clear urine can be a sign of proper hydration, it's not the only indicator. And I'll pause there. All right. It is not the only indicator because you have factors like your diet and certain vitamins that can influence the color of your urine. So dark yellow urine may indicate dehydration. So it's important to monitor your overall hydration status along with other clues, other cues and clues. All right. So don't just go with the clear urine. You might be taking vitamins that can contribute to the coloration of the urine. All right. Myth number 4: sports and energy drinks are always better than water during exercise. Okay, Joy says, I saw something in chat. Let me see what that says. Again, our answer is based on your exact question. My answer is based on no Joyce. We're dealing with myth and fact. So he's saying, is it a myth or is it a fact, right? So normally people would say overall that it's a fact that if the urine is clear, then uh, you're good. But you got to take it into consideration what diet you might be on and the vitamins which can influence the color, right? So it's not a trick question. We want to uh, what's the word I'm trying to find? We want to get rid of the myths that are out that sound like fact. All right. Okay, good. So myth number 4: sports and energy drinks are always better than water during exercise. Is that a myth or a fact? You guys already answered while I was talking. Okay, Joan says it's a myth. Fellas have the myth. Neda is a myth. Peggy a myth. Nicole a myth. Utamu a myth. Come is a myth. And okay. All right. So the fact is, for most people, water is sufficient for staying hydrated during moderate exercise, right? Sports drinks and energy drinks might be necessary for athletes engaging in intense, prolonged physical activity. But for the average person, water remains the best choice. And even for the athletes, you would find that a lot of those so called energy drinks may have 1 or 2 minerals in it, right? But it normally have a lot of sugar and acid. And it more or less defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose. Okay, myth number 5. Myth number 5. The myth number 5 is you can't overhydrate, right? And that is called hyponatremia, right? When you drink too much water, you drink too much water. Myth number 5 says you cannot over hydrate. Is that a myth or a fact? Okay, I see myth. Okay, any more takers? I got 3 fellow disciples as myth. That's a myth. All right, very good, very good. So overhydration or hyponatremia is a very real concern and can be dangerous, can even damage your kidney to lead to death, right? So this occurs when you consume excessive amounts of water without balancing your electrolytes. So again, listen to your body's signals and avoid excessive water intake, especially in a short period. So you see what this lady is doing here is what we don't want to do. All right? You want to drink your water while you are seated. And if you take a mouthful of water, that's fine. Chew the water as though it's food. Let it go down your throat slowly. Slowly. Don't just, except early in the morning, first thing in the morning, you want to gulp it down to get a flush out. But during the day, you want to, if you take a mouthful of water, let the water go down slowly down your esophagus. All right? And do it while seated as much as possible. All right. Good, good. Myth number 6. Myth number 6. All right. Myth number 6. Now, if you have a question, use the reaction that you have to raise your hand and not just speak it out while I'm doing it. That might kind of interrupt me. So you could use the reaction to put a hand up and I will get to you. All right. Okay. Myth number 6. Thirst is the only indicator of dehydration. Thirst is the only indicator of dehydration. Is that a myth or is that a fact? All right, M, if you think is a myth, F, if you think is a fact. All right, only thing M's. All right. That is exactly a myth, right? So thirst might be the primary indicator of our dehydration, but it's not the only one. There are other signs that, for example, could include your mouth being dry, your urine is dark, you have fatigue, dry skin, itchy skin, and you feel dizzy, right? So pay attention to these cues to assess your hydration status accurately, especially if you are going on a hike, you're going on some kind of excursion, it's hot outside or it's very cold outside. Both times, we tend to think that the only time we need to hydrate is in the summertime when it's very hot, right? That's a myth, right? Because in the wintertime, your body is using up the water you have to create the heat for your body. So you can also become dehydrated in the wintertime. So pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. All right, number seven, myth number seven. Hydrating after a workout is sufficient. It's good enough. Is that a myth or is that a fact? Hydrating after a workout, maybe I should say only for some of my lawyers on here, right? Hydrating only after a workout is sufficient. Is that a myth or a fact? Right, myth. Very good, very good. So the same the same way you have dehydration, we also want to do what is called pre-hydration, right? This is equally important. So when I was in the military here in the United States, whenever we were going to search for people, do any activity, the day before, we would be instructed very sternly to hydrate, pre-hydrate. Because when we go out in the woods to find people who are lost or what have you, we don't want to become another victim that they have to take care of, right? And you can get lost out there, you can stay out there for days, and you want to be properly hydrated. So pre-hydration before a workout is equally important. Drinking water before you exercise helps to ensure that you start your workout adequately hydrated. It also is good for the joints to be lubricated, right? And post exercise, all right, post exercise or exercise uh, after, after you have exercised, post exercise, rehydration is also important, right? It's better than drinking those sports drinks. So you want to drink water before you hydrate. Don't drink too much, right? Drink a sufficient amount, and then drink water after because we lose water when we perspire, when we talk, when we inhale, when we exhale, when we sleep, when we go to the toilet, when we work out. So you have to put the water back in. Our bodies does not produce water. All right. So we have to put the water in. Got to put the water in. So you want to hydrate before, pre-hydrate, and then you want to rehydrate after you exercise. Right. So the hydration sets the stage for a successful workout and for better brain health. Better brain health. All right. Myth number eight. Myth number eight. All fluids contribute equally to hydration. Is that a myth or fact, right? M or F? All fluids contribute equally to hydration. Is that true or false? A myth or fact, sorry. Okay, Joy says it's a fact. Utamu says it's a myth. All right, anybody else? All right, so Joyce seems to be, what she said, sorry. Joyce, why are you apologizing? All right, so all fluids uh, contribute to your overall hydration, but they don't contribute equally, right? Because some beverages, um, like water and herbal teas, are more effective hydrators than caffeinated or sugary drinks, right? Water should be your primary choice for staying hydrated. And let's segue to sugar because this affects your brain as well, affects your brain, right? Sugar is not your friend. So I want you to write in the chat or tell me, sugar is not my friend. I want it to go down in your brain. Sugar is not my friend. Who's going to help me? Say it out loud or write it in the chat. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Joan. Get about two more. I want to sink in. I want to sink in, folks. And sugar could be in any form. Soda, which we shouldn't drink at all, especially if you're going to eat. One of the reasons why children in high school and college and grade school who eat food from the school, one of the reasons why they put on so much weight is that they drink soda while they're eating. And when you drink a soda while you're eating, it causes you to feel not satisfied, still hungry, and you tend to drink more. So in where I grew up, some people on here from that country, we would eat what they call doubles or roti, whatever, and drink a cold soft drink. And you drink the soft drink, and you still feel hungry because the acid and the gas is making you feel as though you haven't eaten anything. Right? It's very, very dangerous. So sugar is not your friend, right? But here's why. Give you a number of reasons why. Sugar increases erratic brain cell firing, right? Erratic brain cell firing. Sugar is implicated in aggression. People who are very aggressive, you can tell that they eat a lot of sugar, and especially white sugar. White sugar is almost equal to poison in your body because there's nothing in it beneficial. I remember growing up in the Caribbean and we would drink a lot of Kool-Aid. We didn't know better. Nice colored drink. We see it on TV from the United States and it looked so delicious. And we would, of course, use the brown sugar. But then when people came over, they used to laugh. Well, look how brown your juice looking. Look at it on TV. It's clear and nice. I said use the white sugar, the poison. So we're using two poisons, the Kool-Aid and the white sugar. White sugar is dangerous to your body. If you could find one good thing about white sugar, yes, you tell me it's more addictive than cocaine. Sugar is, right? Especially the white sugar. All right, it's very, very dangerous. All right. So it increases erratic brain cell firing. It's implicated in aggression. It's associated with ADHD and hyperactivity. Uh, Sugar feeds cancer cells. Sugar creates an acidic environment and makes cancer feel welcome, right? Cancer cannot dwell in an alkaline environment. And so one of the first things you want to do, especially if you have cancer in your family or you, all of us have cancer cells, all of us. But the cells are not as active if we eat certain things to keep them quiet. Make sense? All right. Uh, Sugar increases slow brain waves, right? You get lethargic, you tend not concentrate well. And in fact, the sugar that you consume could turn to alcohol in your body. So you go to a meeting at work or meeting at church and you're aggressive, you want to fight, too much sugar. And then for our children, the same thing. Get up in the morning, they eat those tarts, whatever we call them, full of sugar, or those cereals with the color, which is poison, full of sugar, and they go to school and they get in fights, become aggressive because of the sugar content. Sugar is also implicated in depression. Depression. Sugar could also make you dumb. No, I'm not calling you names. This is science, right? It could make you dumb. In other words, it'll alter your learning and your memory. But in this case, if you add omega-3s, it can help to minimize the damage. This was a UCLA study, right? That's not my thing. UCLA study. So get mad with them. Okay, so let's deal with some brain boosting foods. Some brain boosting foods includes blueberries. Why? Because they're rich in antioxidants that can protect against cognitive decline. I should also include here blackberries. In particular, they're more powerful than the blueberries, all right? For the brain in particular, but the blueberries are powerful as well. Rich in antioxidants that protect against cognitive decline. Walnuts, right? You can see that it's shaped like the brain, right? It looks like the two hemispheres of the brain, right? The left hemisphere, the right hemisphere. And normally in our brain, in this center area here, there's something called the corpus callosum. It connects both halves, both spheres of our brains, right? So this is very good for your brain. If you have cognitive problems, you want to stack up and eat a few of these every day. Every day. Put it in your salad, blend it in a smoothie, what have you. It's very powerful. Walnuts are excellent for omega 3s and for memory support, for memory support. Next, we have and avocados are good for a plethora of things. I can tell you off the bat, this seed here, or the pit here, you can take it out. Don't throw it away. You're throwing away something very, very critical. First of all, this could become a new avocado tree, but also you put it in a glass of water, the seed, in a glass of water for an hour or so, and then you peel off that brown outer layer, cut it in pieces. You get about probably 5 or 6 of these. Cut them in small pieces. Put them in a glass bottle, and pour some rubbing alcohol, right? Probably 70%, 90%, and leave it there for 4 or 5 days. Shake it up, and whenever you have any kind of pain in your joint or your body, you get some of that avocado water and put it in the area. It helps with pain, and it helps to get recovery as well. It's very, very powerful. All right? All right. So, good night, Mary. Glad to have you. I'm sorry you're late too. All right. So, avocados support blood flow to your brain. Somebody tell me what can happen if there's not adequate blood flow to your brain. Just quickly. Just tell me one. That's one thing. We're not going to argue. Just tell me one thing quickly.
Brain dead.
Brain dead. Okay. Anybody else? Stroke. Okay. So if somebody was to put their forearm around your throat for about 5 minutes and choke and squeeze it, what will happen to you eventually? Or well, one of the first thing that happen?
D dead, no A for
No, no,
life.
no, no, no. You wouldn't be DD dead yet, right? You would lose the,
Oxygen,
you
yeah.
lose oxygen and blood flow to the brain, and you will be knocked out, more or less. If it happens beyond that, you can become brain dead, you can get in a coma, and lose your life. All right. So, knowing all of that, is avocado then important for the body?
Yes.
It supports blood flow to your brain. All right, good. Now we talk about green leafy vegetables. Now, all of these things I'm telling you is not just good for the brain, it's good for the entire body. So we have started a custom or tradition in our family, right? Every Wednesday, my wife and my daughters, they make soup, thick soup, right? And it's filled with carrots, garlic, greens. What else put in there,
Kale.
Nadesh?
Kale.
Kale, potatoes. I mean, when you eat
And
that,
bananas.
green bananas, when you eat that, oh man, ooh. And
Pumpkin.
now she can't make it as good as her mother. Her mother was my favorite, okay? But after her mom, she's next, okay? That soup tastes really, really good, and it's so nutritious. And science is now saying that if you eat soup more, and I'm saying again, not watery soup, because then it comes as though you're eating and drinking together. That's why I wanted thick soup, right? It helps to help you to lose weight, okay? And it's very good for the brain. All right. So green leafy vegetables is also good to prevent cancer, to fight cancer. But like kale, spinach, colored greens, broccoli, they are all rich in brain healthy nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta carotene. All right. And research suggests that plant-based foods may help to slow cognitive decline. Now, when I was a pastor in Texas, and my wife and my children could be a witness to this, when I was pastoring in Texas, one of our churches, fellow disciple, wanted the recipe for the soup. You guys want a lot. If the price is right, we'll send it for you. Amen. All right. Hey, I'm only halfway kidding. Okay. All right. So research suggests I was saying that when I was pastoring in Texas, one of our churches, it was mostly Caucasian church, and the first elder's wife, the chief elder's wife, was a medical doctor, and she was a part of an association of other professionals, right? And these folks were all atheists, and they would use our church fellowship hall every third Sunday to come together and give testimonies of diseases that had been reversed from a plant-based diet. Now, I would say that's a big shame on those of us who are Christians who are still eating meat and fish. These people don't believe in God, but because they believe that their bodies are holy in some way, they don't want to put any garbage in there. And these people are professionals, cardiologists, all kind of gists. About 80 of them. And they would not eat meat even if you put a gun to their heads or fish. And yet we as Christians who have the Bible, Genesis 1:29, where God gives us our prescription for how we should eat, we want to ignore it and follow what man says. All right. Well, I'm going to put in my 2 cents there. Okay. So research suggests that plant-based foods may help to slow your cognitive decline. Okay, so the role of hydration, we talked about it just now a little bit, and electrolytes in our bodies, right? So water is essential. Water is what, everybody? Write the word for me in the chat. Essential. I want to soak in. Water is essential for focus, for memory, and for concentration. Electrolytes like magnesium and potassium support brain function. Thank you, fellow disciple. Writing essential. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's called participation. Valerie, thank you so much. Joan, very good. All right. Let's look. Here's a recipe for a brain uh, boosting smoothie. All right. You may want to take a snap of this on your device or your phone or write down the recipe. But here are the ingredients for a brain boosting smoothie. All right. Every week we give you a nice recipe. All right. So 1 cup of blueberries, 1 cup of blueberries, 1 teaspoon of walnuts, 1 tablespoon of walnuts, 1 cup of spinach, 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, and 1 cup of coconut milk. All right, if you get it fresh, might be even better. All right, 1 cup of coconut milk. So again, 1 cup blueberries, 1 tablespoon of walnuts, 1 cup of spinach, 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, 1 cup of coconut milk. That's the ingredients. The instructions simply blend all the ingredients together until they're smooth and enjoy. And if you want to put in some uh, um, dates, take out the pits to get natural sweetness, you can do that, or even half of a banana. That will give it some nice thickness and also give you natural sweetness and enjoy. All right, if you want it kind of chilled, put about 1 or 2 blocks of ice. 1 or 2 blocks of ice. Okay, Joan asks, can that be a meal replacement? Yes, it can be a meal replacement for the evening, right? If you had 2 meals for the day and you still feel hungry, it might be because you're not properly hydrated, but you can use that as your third meal. But we really don't need 3 meals a day. We need 2, unless you're a construction worker, bodybuilder, or doing some other manual labor. All right? Okay, so here are some herbal remedies for brain health, right? So on this platform, we give you a lot. We add value to you. We add value to you. If that's true, write true in the chat. If that's true, if you believe that since you've been coming here over almost 2 years now, that we have added value to you, write true. Write true in the chat. True. Everyone says true. Mary says true. All right, just okay. Nader says true, true. Okay. Valerie says true. Come says true. All right. So all the other people are new. So we haven't added value to them as yet. No problem. We do it right now today. Right now today. All right. So here's some herbal remedies for your brain health. The first one is ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba. And this supports memory and focus. Memory and focus. Turmeric. Somebody before was saying that turmeric, both turmeric and saffron could act as blood thinners, turmeric especially too. And every morning with our water, we drink 2 glasses of warm water first thing in the morning with quarter teaspoon of turmeric, quarter teaspoon of Celtic salt, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And then we add a sprinkle of cayenne pepper, right? That's to flush out our systems first thing in the morning. So turmeric reduces inflammation in your bodies and supports cognitive function. Turmeric, right? Very, very, very good. Then we have rosemary. Rosemary is good for a whole lot of things. It also enhances your mental clarity and your alertness. Mental clarity and alertness. All right. So we're coming down to the end. We have 2 quiz questions. Okay, Joan asked, why Celtic salt? I'm glad you asked, because Celtic salt has the most amount of minerals in it that your body needs. The table salt has probably 2 minerals in it, but it also has aluminum, right? So it's very dangerous for your body. So when your doctor tells you take less salt, they're talking about the table salt. The pink salt, they're trying to trick us now with the pink salt and the pink Himalayan salt, 2 different salts. The pink salt is not pink Himalayan salt. That is the same sea salt they took and put some coloring in it to fool you to buy it. Right? So the pink Himalayan salt has a lot of minerals in it as well, but the Celtic salt has the most amount of minerals. And the Celtic salt comes in granules, right? So you can use less of it, but it has more potency in it. That's why you use less of that one. And before you drink your water, before you drink every glass of water or every bottle of water, you want to put 1 or 2 of the Celtic granules under your tongue, kind of melt it down, and then drink the water, right? Because the magnesium in the salt will open your body cells to absorb the water. So you will not go and pee out the water right after you have drunk it. All right? Make sense? So, uh, so that's why the Celtic salt is the very best. It's more expensive, but it's a whole lot better than the Himalayan salt. But if you can only afford the Himalayan salt, hey, go right ahead. More power to you. All right. All right. So we have a 2 question quiz. Again, you're going to write the answer in the chat. In the chat, it'll be A, B, C, or D. All right. So what if your Celtic salt is fine? That's fine. That's fine, Mary. If your Celtic salt is fine, then that's fine. Amen. Okay, question number 1. What is the best source? Listen to the question. It didn't say what is the source. What is the best source of omega-3s for brain health? Right? Is it A, processed sugar, B, walnuts, C, fried foods, or D, soda? So the correct answer is A, B, C, or D. N is not an answer. I don't know what N is for. For example, what is N for? Okay, so write A, B, C, or D for your answer.
I thought I wrote B.
I think that vacation you went on was too long. You had too much fun. All right. So write an A, B, C, or D for the answer. The amount of salt in the water is quarter teaspoon. Quarter teaspoon. That should be enough for the water. Okay. So we have, okay, Joan wrote walnut B. Fellas Hyper changed it to a B. Nadez put walnuts. Nadez, you didn't hear the instructions, right? A, B, C, or D. But if you want to write, no problem. You and Joan like to write, no problem. All right. H and P and Bryce says B. Valerie says B. Mary says B. Nicole says B. Peggy says B. All right. Wow. So all of you are correct. All of you are correct. Walnuts, right? The best source of omega-3s for brain health are walnuts. Walnuts. Very good. Very good. You all were listening. All right. Question number 2. Same thing, right? A, B, C, or D. Which drink hydrates the best? Which drink hydrates the best? Is it A, coffee, B, soda, C, water, or E or D, energy drinks? Which drink hydrates the best? A, B, C, or D? All right, Nadine says C. Felix Cyber says C. Uh, Sandra says C. Jones says C. Peggy says C. Valerie says C. Joy says C. H&P says C. Jola says C. Leonie says C. All right. You guys are all. Oops. What happened there? What happened to my slide? Yeah, all of you are correct. You're absolutely correct, right? Water hydrates the best. Coffee,
Oh,
uh, yes?
I don't know
Somebody
what.
ask. Okay. Somebody ask me a question?
No, I'm not asking. My answers weren't going through for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. So which one you chose? C?
I said C, but that's not the only one. All my answers for a while have not been going through, and I didn't realize until now.
No, I see your answer there. C is there.
Yeah, I
But
just did something else and it
oh,
went.
okay. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad it went through this time. All right. So I think that coffee, um, decaffeinated coffee is more dangerous than coffee. All right. We'll let you know that. Of course, you have a substitute. Mary, you remember what we told you to use as a substitute for coffee? Mary, are you muted? Where's Mary? Mary probably busy. All right. Yeah. So who knows what is a good substitute, a natural substitute for coffee? Who knows?
Postum.
Boston.
Post,
What's
po,
Boston?
Postum. Okay. Oh, what else? What else besides postum?
I don't know.
Roma. Okay. So let's put it in the chat. Roma, carob. Yes, we need some. The
Rome.
carob, the carabin aroma. That's a good replacement for coffee. It looks like coffee grains. Some people say it smells like coffee, but it's very good. The carob is very good for your body. All right. Coffee is a diuretic. Right. So it kind of um, it's how to put that. It saps the water from your body, can make you dehydrated, and also it also gives you a rush, and then it gives you a drop. Okay, Utamu says also chicory. Okay, dandelion. Carmen says dandelion. Very good. All right. So coffee is not good for your body. The only good reason now coffee has many scientific benefits, right? But the a lot of pros, but the cons outweigh the pros with coffee. And the only good thing I have found for coffee, well, two good things. One, you can use coffee grains to keep away pests like roaches and stuff from your house, right? And then use coffee as an enema. So while coffee is not good from this end, it's good from the other end up to flush you out if you're constipated. All right? But it's very, very toxic. It's very toxic. All right. Soda also is very dangerous for the body because of the amount of sugar in it. You'll be surprised if you Googled how much sugar is in a can of soda and the white sugar, you will be surprised. Really surprised. All right? A lot of sugar, a lot of acid in the soda is very dangerous for our bodies. Very,
I
very
think
dangerous.
That's in your bone.
it's 30.
Hold on, Nidesh. Go ahead, Sister Brown. What are you saying?
Oh, she said 12. I thought they said 30.
Yeah,
teaspoon.
yeah, it's more than 12. It's more than 12. Go ahead, Nadesh.
There's a combination as well that can be done to substitute for coffee. You can take dry comfrey roots, dry dandelion root, and dry chicory,
Chicory.
and then just mix all that together, and that will be a good substitute for coffee as well.
Very good. Very good. Thank you,
An
Dr. Ray.
infusion with it.
Thank you, Dr. Raymond. Appreciate it. All right. So energy drinks as well. A lot of acid. I think about 2 minerals in them. A lot of sugar. Right. So it's almost like soda, except it doesn't have the fizz, but it has the amount of sugar. All right. H&P says barley cup. Barley cup. Another substitute for coffee. Barley cup. Excuse me. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So we normally every week we talk about the breathing exercises. Today, we want to talk about the box breathing. Box breathing. What is box breathing? Right? Box breathing is a 4x4 method. So you would inhale for 4 seconds, and after I tell you, we'll all do it together, all right? So you'll inhale, and you're counting 4 seconds while you are inhaling, and then you hold your breath for 4 seconds. You exhale, counting 4 seconds, and then you hold for 4 seconds before you take your next breath and repeat 3 to 5 times to reduce your stress and increase your focus. So if you look at this picture here on the screen, right, we start on top here where the arrow goes up. We count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we hold 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then we exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we hold again 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we inhale. And you notice we're inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the mouth. All right? That's called box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and hold again for 4 seconds before you take another inhalation. Right? Box breathing, box breathing. All right. So we've come to the end of the presentation, and probably take a few questions or comments. And any question I can't answer, I'm going to call upon Dr. Hillmans and Bryce or his dear wife.
I
Sister
I
Bryce.
put one in the chat first.
I'm sorry, say again?
That Celtic salt don't have any iodine. So does one take iodine separately?
I'm not quite following.
I see the one that I buy said no iodine.
Or the
So I
salt
said,
says that has no iodine?
yes, look at the outside of it. It said no
Yeah, it
iodine.
doesn't have iodine, but you get iodine from other things.
Yeah.
That's why I take the Himalayan salt because Celtic salt don't have iodine.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a choice, right? So if you believe that the iodine outweighs the other minerals that the Himalayan salt does not have, but the Celtic salt does, that's a choice we all have to make
Use
based on
both,
based on
or
based
use
on
both.
knowledge. Yeah, or use both. If you figure it doesn't have enough iodine for you, but that's the best one with the minerals for the body.
I have both in here.
Yeah, well, good,
Take
perfect.
in the one.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. All right. If there are no questions, we can end here. I think nobody's asking questions. That's good. The presentation was very explicit, so wonderful. All right, good, good, good. Okay, so the call to action for this week coming. We want to take charge of your health. Start incorporating the brain boosting foods that we've given you in your diet. Stay hydrated and avoid processed foods. Practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Mindfulness in the sense of taking time during the day to stop, even for 5 minutes, and just think of things to give God thanks for, to be grateful. Just stop and relax, or rest your heart and your body. All right. And next week we'll be talking about natural remedies for the neurological health for the brain. All right. Remember, we're going for 4 weeks on the brain. So next week, natural remedies for neurological health. And as we always say every week, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 20, for you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Which are God's. And we normally end with prayer. Before we do, we want to say that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. So please care for it well. Care for it well. And visit our Stan store, Stan dot store / growth guru Dr. Ray. There are a number of ebooks that we have there on health, on sleeping if you can't sleep properly. You can also uh, uh, calendar in a time to meet with me on one-on-one coaching. All right. And also, if you have questions, you can ask me anything, and you will get an answer within 24 to 28 hours, 48 hours via video. And if you want to meet with me, we can meet by Zoom. All right. So take action today for that. Okay. I see your hand, Sister Barbara. Go right ahead, please.
Can you please repost the smoothie ingredients for me, please?
For the right price, yes.
Jesus paid it all for me already.
Well, since he paid it all, I'll send him the slide. Since he paid for it. Uh, where did I put that? I think I passed it already. I know I passed it already. Yeah.
Was at the end. That was at the end. Before the
Okay. Here it is. Oops. All right, there it is. Did you get it? Sister Barbara, did you get it?
Let me ask Gabby to help me. Come here, Gabby.
But you can take a screen. Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on my
Screenshot.
Yeah, you can take a
Oh,
screenshot. Take a
screenshot.
screenshot.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. Take a screenshot of it. That's the best way. Good night,
What is
Gabby.
what is your YouTube address again? I didn't.
Okay, I'm coming to that.
Okay.
That's coming
I got
to.
it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Gabby.
Hello.
Wow, hear that voice. That's a big girl now. That's not my baby anymore. It's a big lady.
Yes, sir, she is.
All right. Okay, so here's the YouTube channel, H.E.A.L Lifestyle Academy, and you can get the recording from last week and the other recordings, other seminars we have done. It's all there.
Okay, great. Okay.
And this is our business number. You need to call me 446540128. This is the Stand store. We can get our ebooks and another thing that will benefit you there. We have I have a free ebook there for helping you to sleep better. All right, free ebook. The only thing I ask, if you take the free ebook and you don't buy anything else, consider giving us a review. Give us a review. Text me, give me some kind of review of what it did for you. And this is where you can get all of the seed-based products that we keep telling you, like the Pure, which is good for the gut. And last week we talked about the gut and the brain, that we have three brains. We have the cranial brain in the head, we have the heart brain, and we have the gut brain. And the gut communicates more with the cranial brain than the cranial brain with the gut. All right, so if you are scared, you would tend to feel like butterflies in your stomach. You may get queasy, you may get constipation because the brain and the gut are connected. They are connected. All right. All right, good. So you have all the information that you need to contact us to help support our ministry on Stand Store. That helps us to support our ministry. That's something that you consider doing. So we always want to add value to you. Always want to add value. Always want to add value. All right. So consider visiting our Stand Store and see where God leads you to get. All right. So let's pray. We normally pray to end. As I was saying, let's take off the recording. All right. Are there any special prayer requests?